Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with another part of What If Naruto A Mother's Love. And if you haven't watched it already, I have uploaded the next part of What If Naruto was separated from his family. And if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel as well. And without further ado, let's continue with our story. Akamaru barked and was in savage pursuit. The poor cat was running for his life. Ahead of the cat, a young girl knelt down and held out her arms. "Come here, kitty," Hinata said gently. The cat leapt into her arms and she took hold of him. She quickly had the cat relaxed and purring. She switched on her radio communicator. "This is Hinata. Target has been acquired. Please confirm that the target has a ribbon the right ear that says tiger." Kakashi's voice came over the line. "Confirm, team leader," Hinata replied. "Good job, team," Kakashi said happily. "Mission find the missing pet is complete." As Akamaru returned to the top of his master's head, he was looking at the cat in disgust. "I can't believe I just wasted an hour of my life finding a cat," Kiba complained. Hinata frowned at him as she continued to pat the feline in her arms. "Oh, be nice, Kiba. This poor cat hasn't done anything to you." He shook his head. "We used to chase Kamakichi like this for fun, and this is supposed to be a mission." "It's a D-rank mission, Kiba." Kakashi sighed and tried to explain. "You're all brand new Genins. These kinds of missions are where you get the experience necessary to move on to bigger and the better things." Kiba grumbled but didn't say anything more. "Come on, let's get back to the tower and report in." Link break. At the tower, they returned poor Tiger to his owner, the fire daimyo's wife. Seeing her crush to poor animal in a hug, even Kiba felt a little sympathy. It being a slow day, the Hokage was actually among those handing out assignments. Since it was summer, Iruka was also temporarily assigned there. Tsunade smiled at them. "Another successful mission. Your team is ripping through them at 2 or 3 days. Now let's see. I'll give you a choice for your next D rank. You can help paint a house, do some weeding, or do some babysitting." "No way, none of the above. I don't train to be a ninja so I could rescue cats and babysit. I want a real mission," Kiba shouted. Snarly glared at him and felt a vein throb in her head. "What was that?" "I said I want a real mission. Something that actually involves ninja skills," Kiba continued to shout, not feeling intimidated in the least by the Hokage's glaring at him. "Don't be ridiculous," Ruka spoke up. "You're already a brand new genin, and you can possibly hope to do anything more than D-rank missions for now." "For how long?" Kiba whined. "We've been doing D-rank missions for a whole month." Kakashi knocked him on the head. "Kiba, settle down. You cannot just yell at the Hokage like that because you don't like your assignments." Kiba rubbed his head and glared at his sensei. "Oh, come on, Kakashi-sensei. We've been wasted on the stupid jobs. We are ready to do a lot more." He looked over to his friend. "Come on, Naruto, back me up here." Naruto shook his head. "Kiba, we're ninjas. It's our duty to fulfill whatever missions we're assigned to." Kiba frowned. "Oh, come on. You don't think we're ready to set up and step up?" Naruto frowned. "Well..." Tsunade looked at him. "Tell me your opinion, Naruto." He looked at her. "Well, Hokage-sama, he never called her godmother in the tower. Well, I am happy to take care of any mission assigned to me. I do agree with Kiba that we could do more." "Ha!" Kiba shouted. Kakashi bopped him on the head again. Tsunade leaned back in her chair and smiled. "You are still raw Genin. Why exactly should I assign you a higher rank mission, especially since I have yet to assign one to any of the other new Genin squads?" Naruto shrugged. "Because we're the best and we're ready?" He stated flatly. "We have a lot of talent on this squad, and our work ethics can't be touched. We should be the first of the new squads to get higher ranked mission." Tsunade grinned. "My, but you do have a high opinion of yourself, Naruto." He gave her a bit of a smile. "Well, I'm not the only one. My godmother thinks pretty highly of me too. In fact, she thinks I'll be Hokage one day." Tsunade chuckled. "Yes, I know she does." She looked over the members of the Team 7 again and glanced down to her paperwork. "Alright, I'll give you something that's a little more challenging." Hinata was shocked. Kiba's tantrum actually worked. "Alright." Kiba jumped up. "Finally a real mission." Kakashi sighed. "Kiba, please quiet down. You do not want to hear this mission. You do want to hear your mission, don't you?" "Oh, sorry." He smiled and stopped making so much noise. Snarl shook her head. "You will be escorting a bridge builder to his home in the land of waves. We're going to a foreign country?" "All right," Kiba said. Naruto didn't say anything, but he smiled and felt very excited. "I have your client brought out so you can meet him." In short order, a fat, somewhat disheveled old man with a bottle of beer in his hand entered the room. He looked over to the squad and frowned. "What's going on here?" They looked like a bunch of wet-nosed brats, especially the dumb-looking one with the dog on his head. "What?" Kiba roared. "I'll kill him." Fortunately, Kakashi had a hold on him. "No, Kiba, not killing the client." The old man took a sip of his beer. "I'm Tazuna. a bridge builder of ultimate renown. I'll, until I'm safely back in my own country where I'll be completing my next project. You'll all be expected to protect me, even at the cost of your own lives. Geez, what a pleasant guy, Naruto said under his breath. Link break. At 8 a.m. the next morning, Team 7 assembled at the gate with their client. Tazuna was looking over the ninjas and not feeling a word of confidence. Am I really expected to put my life in the hands of children? He complained. Kakashi sighed. This would be a very long mission. This is really no need for concern. They are all fine ninja and I am an elite ninja and will be accompanying you as well. He took a sip of beer. My confidence is underwhelmed. What is this jerk's problem? Kiba said quietly. Maybe he is under just a lot of stress, Hinata offered. Yeah, and maybe he's just a jerk, Kiba offered. Naruto said, don't be so worried right about it, Kiba. It's our first real mission. Try and enjoy it. Kiba gave him a look that questioned his sanity. Naruto didn't care. The client was a jerk and the mission was a boring escort. He was finally out of the village. He was finally doing something. He felt a sense of real freedom. He was finally taking his fate into his own hands. Link break. Kushina stood near the gates and watched over her son as he go. Even though she knew it was foolish, she had to fight down the urge to go after him. Are you alright? Kushina looked behind her to see Tsunade smiling. Oh, I'm fine, it's just... Tsunade nodded. I know, but you knew this day would come, sooner or later. Kushina nodded. Of course, but it's still very hard to let him go off on his own. He's not only alone out, he has Kakashi and his teammates with him. And even if he were on his own, you have done an amazing job training him. I'd say he's already a match of half of the Johnnies in this village. I know that, but I can't help but worry about him now that he's somewhere I can't reach. She sighed. Even with the servants, the house is going to seem very lonely without him, dear. Tsunade put a comforting hand on her shoulders. Why don't you come and have dinner with me and Shizune tonight at the Hokage mansion? Kushina thought about it at the moment and nodded. She would appreciate the company. Anyway, it's a simple, low-priority C-rank mission given to him. A little bit more experience, that's all. I'm sure they'll have an easy time. Started a short link break. As they walked along the road, the three Genins had taken the lead and worked together as a group, about 15 feet ahead of Tazuna. Kashi was bringing up the rear, about 10 feet behind. The client, as they walked along, Kiba was watching a Kamaru chase a butterfly, and both Naruto and Hinata were enjoying the scenery. As they walked, he noticed a puddle of water in the middle of the road. He knew it hadn't rained in a few weeks. I'm going to talk to the Nissan for a second. Hinata and Kiba both simply nodded. He dropped back to where Kakashi was. He was next to Kakashi as he approached the puddle of water. He noticed the puddle. Kakashi said quietly, yeah. He replied quietly as well. Ambush properly, warn the others, and be ready. Nodding, Naruto half walked, half jogged back to Kiba and Hinata, trying very hard not to look as though he was alert. Kiba, Hinata, he said in a whisper. They both gave him their attention. Act casually, but were about to be attacked. They both stiffened a bit, but didn't anything more. Hinata-chan, activate your bloodline. She gave the barest of nods. Byakugan. She used her bloodline to search the area. There are two behind Kakashi. In an instant, his sword was in his hand, and he had pivoted around and was rushing towards Kakashi. Kiba. With me, Hinata covered the client. Tazuna froze as the three children who had been walking in front of him suddenly turned and were rushing towards him. His eyes were drawn on the blonde boy with his red and black clothes. He had a sword in his hands. He saw the boy's face for just a second before he paused. But that only one look was enough to freeze his spine. The little girl stopped in front of him and was in the same sort of weird stance. It was only as he turned around to watch the boy rush past that he suddenly saw two foreign ninjas about to rip Kakashi apart. That was what Naruto saw as well. Two ninjas was respirators, each wearing a glove metal claw with a nasty braided chain running between. They had already wrapped the chain around him, and before Naruto could get there, he saw his Nissan torn apart. Nissan! Naruto howled. Kakashi! Cried Kiba. The two clawed ninjas wasted no time and rushed towards them. Take the one on the right, Naruto ordered, as he bore down on the other one. Even as furious as he was, he still felt in his mind to do an evaluation on the choice of weapons. He decided that the choice was stupid. A claw and a chain were no match for a good sword. As the enemies closed on him, he quickly dropped the second sword low in front of him, and when he was on top of his opponent, he drove his sword straight up and out in his smooth motion. He didn't miss from the man's groin, clean up to his neck. His katana bit deep. The enemy's ninja was gutted like a fish. His chest showered out blood, and the man fell to the ground, flapping about for a bit before he was still. It all took just a few seconds. With one enemy down, he quickly pulled his sword back into his ready position and turned to his right. He saw Kiba nail the other on his one with his fangs over fang technique. He hit his opponent square in the chest and he was down on the ground. Naruto rushed over to his last enemy's side and he raised his sword over his head, ready for another killing blow. Naruto stopped. Naruto froze and looked behind him. Kakashi Nissan. Kakashi was standing just a few bits behind him, but Naruto looked to where Kakashi's body had been. There saw a roughly severed log. Oh, you used a substitution. His relief at his Nissan's survival was quickly replaced by anger. Why did you let us think that you killed? Sorry about that, but I thought it would give me a good chance to evaluate you in all real combat situation. Are any of you hurt? Everybody shook their heads. You all did excellent. Hinata, good job covering and protecting the client. Kiba, excellent attack. It was very effective. And Naruto, I couldn't have done better. He smiled and nodded. Kakashi had always been with the worst. Thanks, Nissan, but Naruto, from now on, don't call me that when we're in the field. I'm fine with it when we're trading or at home, but on missions, call me Sensei or just plain Kakashi. Why? You give an enemy an advantage. If they hear you call me that, they're likely to think we have a special bond and change tactics accordingly. Let's not give our enemies more information than we need to. Now then, he picked up the survivor. I'm going to have a little chat with our friend here. He left the survivor over his shoulder and carried him into the woods to chat. Naruto calmly took out his rag and wiped off his blade. He slowly began aware that all three people still there were staring at him. You killed that man, Tauzuna said in a small voice. Naruto looked up from his cleaning and smiled at the drunk old man. Still thinking we're just a bunch of wet-nosed brats, Tauzuna quickly shook his head and took several steps away from him. Naruto and Kiba were both looking at him oddly. Naruto let out a sigh. This is the first time you've seen someone kill, isn't it? Kiba and Hinata both nodded. Are you alright, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked worriedly. Now he smiled and nodded. This is the first time for me to remember. This is the 80th person and 4th ninja I've killed. Do you feel alright? Are you upset or bothered? She asked. Naruto shook his head. I'm fine, Hinata-chan. I've learned to turn my feelings off when I kill. You turned off your feelings? She asked, sounding a little stunned. He looked at her seriously. The very first time I killed Hinata-chan was that time at the academy. I killed a chunin and 4 villagers. Looking at what I had done to those men tore me upside down. My mom told me that the only way to be able to kill and not go insane was to turn your heart off at those times and stop feeling. Naruto, that sounds horrible. He nodded. That's just what I said to my mom, but it's the only way to be able to do it and not go insane. We're ninjas and we have to kill sometimes. This is no changing that, but we can still be humans and we can still feel. Just not that those moments. For those moments, we have to stop being humans and be only shinobi. Hinata slowly nodded, and she knew her Naruto-kun had a kind and loving heart. She could never have loved him the way she did if he hadn't. But she had just witnessed another side of him. It was a hard and ugly side, but she understood that it was something very ninja had to have in order to survive. She suddenly wondered if she had it as well somewhere inside. Link break. Kakashi came out of the woods about 15 minutes later. I've tried our friend up to a tree. I sent a message back to Konoha and have the Anbu pick him up. Turned to Tauzuna, and the frost look he gave him made the old man shiver a bit. As I suspected, those ninjas were here for you. You were their target. You claimed not to know the reason. Why have they hired? But I suspect that you do. I don't know what you're talking about. Then let me make things clear for you. Kakashi spoke with a harsh tone. I believe you're being deliberately deceitful when you put in your request for this mission. This mission was assigned at C rank because you informed us you were concerned about ordinary bandits and criminals. Had we known you were in danger from other ninjas, we would have assigned it a B rank or higher, and a much more veteran squad would have been assigned to you. As it is, you have deliberately lied to me and my team, and what is worse, to the Hokage. Therefore, I am terminating our contract with you and returning my team to Konoha. You cannot do that, Tauzuna exclaimed. Oh, I most certainly can. Willful deceit is grounds of terminating any contracts with my village. As my squad sensei, I am responsible for their lives and well-being. I am not about to put them in a situation they aren't ready for. If you break the contract, I'll sue your village. Kakashi shrugged. Feel free. Alright, Team 7, we're going back to the village. Wait! Tazuna shouted, truly panicked. If you go, I'm a dead man. Kakashi gave him a very flat stare. I'll give you one chance to explain yourself. I warn you, if you leave anything out, then I'll terminate the mission. Tazuna nodded. I understand. You're right. I did know there'll be ninja after me. Baka, why didn't you tell us that? Kiba demanded. Tazuna sighed. Because if I had, your Hokage would have assigned it a B rank mission, and I simply couldn't afford that. The Land of Waves is a poor country, and I simply don't have the funds available. So instead, you asked a Kenin squad fresh from the academy to do a job that should have been handled by a Jonin or Junin. Kashi inquired. I'm sorry about doing that, but I'm desperate. A really scary man wants me dead. And who is this scary man? Kashi asked. You probably heard of him. He's a billionaire in the fields of marine transportation. His name is Karo. Wait a second, you mean the shipping and transportation magnate? That Karo? They say he's one of the richest men in the world. Oh, he is. Thousands nodded in disgust. He's also a murderous criminal who will break any law to turn a profit. He came to my country a year ago under the guise of a business venture. Before long, a horde of criminals descended on us to enforce Karo's will. By fair means and foul, he quickly gained a monopoly on all transportation in Wave Country. For an island nation, marine transport is our bloodline. He swiftly destroyed our economy and drained all of the wealth of the land. The only thing he has to fear is the complication of the bridge I have been working on for some time. I see, Hinata spoke up. And as the architect of the bridge and the overseer of the construction, you, Tazuna-san, are very much in his way. Naruto nodded. This means the ninja who attacked you were working for Karo. Kiba nodded and tried desperately to keep up the conversation. So that's the whole truth. Karo wants me dead to prevent complication of the bridge. So are you still going to abandon me to my fate and condemn all of our Wave Country to the monster's control? Kashi let out a deep sigh. Tazuna, I sympathize with your situation. I really do, but the fact is my squad is just not ready for this sort of mission. Who says? Kiba spoke out. Kakashi-sensei, we can definitely do this. I mean, what's the other choice? Run home with our tails between our legs? His grimness showed what he thought of that idea. Kiba, there is no disgrace in withdrawing when the situation is more than you can handle. It's called tactical retreat. Kakashi stated. I agree with Kiba. Naruto said firmly. I say we need to continue with this mission. Kakashi frowned. This is a game, Naruto. Naruto deliberately looked over at the body that was still lying in the middle of the road. With the summit heat, it was already starting to attract flies. I know that, sensei, but like I said, and Kiba said, who says we're not ready? We dealt with these two easily, and that was without your active participation. Why aren't we strong enough to continue? That's what I wanted to ask Naruto. Those two are Chunins. I could have dealt with them by myself. The next attack will either involve greater numbers of ninjas or a Jonin or even a fewer Jonins. Do you feel up to that? You know that confidence never wavering. Yes, I do. I think we have an amazing team, and I think Team 7 can do whatever it has to. Besides, Tazuna and the people in Wave Country needs our help. Kakashi sighs. They're not even paying for the amount of the help they need. Is it just about the money then? Not a front, because I thought being a ninja was about helping people who needed your help. It's about helping your village and carrying out the missions your village assigns you, Kakashi clarified. Sorry about the studying, but anyways, let's continue our story. Well, we have a mission from our village, and even if it has been given the wrong ranking, I think it's worth doing. I say we help 1,000 people in Wave Country. Hell yeah, Kiba agreed. Come on, Kakashi-sensei. How can we abandon them now that we know what they're facing? Kakashi-sensei, I also want to continue this mission. Hinata stepped forward. I agree with Naruto-kun and Kiba-kun. This mission is truly worthy carrying out. Kakashi looked at his team and 3 students. Damn, if they were earnest. I am going to regret this. He slowly nodded his head in agreement. Alright, if you are willing to continue this mission and face the consequences, we'll push on. Link break. The little man was yelling and complaining and almost hysterical that the demon brothers had failed. The ninja shook his head. Why did money have to be so important? If they worked hard, properly, skill and power would be the only thing that mattered. But no, money mattered too. With enough money, he could buy enough supporters to pursue his dream again. I will be the Mizukage one day. I will return to the village in the mist and have my revenge. The little man growled at him, and now he's hired ninjas to protect him, you damn fool. With these, he brought his massive sword to the man's throat. Watch your damn mouth. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist. I will take the hit myself and immolate this man, and that worries you so much. Then you will pay me what you owe me. Fine, the little man said, and looked re- relieved as the sword was pulled away. But you had better not fail. The ninja laughed. When it came to killing, he had never failed. As this is where I'm going to be leaving off this part, guys. I know it's quite short one, but to be honest, there is a lot going on in my home, as you can see from the screaming and yelling. Yeah, this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And this is Apollo Chia, and I'm signing out. Peace.